Emma, scanning the monitors, said excitedly, "It looks like a spacecraft, but it's definitely not of our design." The object moved gracefully, slowly drifting away from Aurora but maintaining controlled movement. Zoe, remaining at the pilot's seat, added cautiously, "Could it have noticed us? This might be a sign of another intelligent species." Max, taking a deep breath, murmured, "If it's theirs, why are they watching us?" The object's lights blinked rhythmically, though it showed no signs of hostility. Still, the crew's hearts raced. Liam, turning to the controls, suggested, "We should follow it. We need to know where it's going." Emma paused, considering the risks, then nodded. "Yes, but we must proceed with caution. We have no idea what we're dealing with." Aurora adjusted its course to follow the mysterious object. As Aurora pursued the unknown object, a heated argument broke out between Sam and Zoe. "Sam, we can't afford to miss this. This might be the first time we encounter another civilization." "Zoe..." "Sam, we can't act recklessly." "What if they have hostile intentions?" "Sam, what if they're friendly?" "We won't know unless we try to communicate." "Zoe, which is exactly why we need to be cautious. What if they're luring us into a trap?" As the tension escalated, suddenly a second object emerged from the darkness. Larger and brighter than the first, it abruptly stopped in front of Aurora. The crew froze. The conversation stopped, and silence filled the cabin. Their eyes locked onto this newly appeared, unknown object. None of them moved. They simply stared. The silence was as deep as the cosmic void itself. Zoe held her breath, her gaze fixed on the massive window before her. She'd been too distracted by the argument to fully focus before, but now she could take in every detail of the colossal entity before them. This newly arrived object was an exploration vessel. She realized it immediately. It did not have the aggressive design of a warship. Instead, its surface was smooth and crafted with an elegant symmetry. Long fin panels extended outward from the main hull. These could be some kind of energy absorbers or solar panels. Faintly shimmering blue and purple lights surrounded the vessel, possibly forming an energy shield. At the center of the hull was a large, dome-shaped structure. Zoe speculated that this might be an observation deck or command center. Various parts of the hull had thin mechanical arms, perhaps designed for sample collection or maintenance. The most striking detail was the circular sections of the ship that periodically emitted bursts of light. Were these signals for communication, or were they part of an unknown energy source? Zoe's mind raced through millions of possibilities in a matter of seconds. "This isn't a warship?" she thought. "It's an explorer just like us." Yet the biggest question remained unanswered. Was this ship friend or foe? Sam furrowed his brows, staring intently out the window. Time felt like it had slowed to a crawl, every second stretching into eternity. The vessel had been there for minutes now, yet it hadn't moved or attempted to communicate. The eerie stillness gnawed at Sam's mind, fueling countless questions. Why are they here? He wondered, are they watching us? If they were a threat, wouldn't they have attacked by now? Maybe they're just observing. Just like we are. But even if it was an exploration ship, the complete lack of movement was suspicious. Normally, a probe or research craft would scan its surroundings, send signals, or engage in some form of analysis. But this ship just sat there. Sam's mind worked at lightning speed. Maybe this ship wasn't operational, perhaps it was damaged, and its crew needed help. Or maybe there was no one aboard. Was it an abandoned ghost ship? A far more unsettling thought crept into his mind. What if they were testing us? Maybe they're waiting to see how we'll react, he thought. If we make the first move, they'll analyze our response. The idea sent a chill down his spine. Who should initiate contact? Should they continue to wait or take the risk and send a signal? Standing beside Zoe, he clenched his fists, trying to contain his impatience. If this standstill continued much longer, he would have to take action. A heavy silence filled the Aurora's cabin. The crew remained fixated on the unmoving exploration vessel before them. 10 minutes had passed, yet the ship had neither sent a signal nor made any movement. The tension among them had grown unbearable. At last, Sam took a deep breath and broke the silence. Sam, we won't learn anything by just waiting. I think we should send a signal. Maybe they're trying to communicate but don't know how. Zoe, shaking her head. That might not be a good idea, Sam. If we don't know who they are, we can't predict how they'll react. Sending a signal would openly reveal our position. Liam, crossing his arms, deep in thought. Zoe might be right. Exposing ourselves to an unknown technology is risky. But on the other hand, if they are friendly and waiting for a response, we could be missing a golden opportunity. Emma, scanning the data. What if it's some kind of automated probe? It could be an unmanned research vessel, or its crew might be asleep or unconscious. Max, staring out the window, whispering, what if they're just observing us? What if their silence is a way to see how we react? If that's the case, making the first move might play into their strategy. Sam, growing impatient. But doing nothing is also a risk. We can't just sit here forever. What if this is our one chance to make contact? Zoe, maybe. But as long as I'm at the controls, I won't randomly broadcast a signal. We need to test them first. Liam, curious. What kind of test? Zoe, a small maneuver. If they're truly aware of us, they'll react. If they recognize our movement and follow, that would confirm their intelligence. Emma, nodding. That makes sense. If they remain completely motionless, they could be a broken probe or a passive research ship. But if they react to our movement, we'll know they're controlled by something intelligent. Max, thoughtfully, like a chess game. The first one to move reveals their intent. I just hope this is the right move. Zoe took a deep breath and gripped the controls. She gently adjusted the Aurora's thrusters, shifting the ship slightly to the side. The crew held their breath, their eyes locked onto the alien vessel, waiting for a reaction. Suddenly, a deafening sound erupted throughout the ship. Emma's mind filled with panic. The sound was beyond painful. It wasn't just in her ears, it was inside her skull. It vibrated through her bones, penetrating every fiber of her being. Is this a signal? An attack? Or a warning? Emma struggled to regain control and check the ship's systems, but the monitors flickered wildly, the displays flooded with incomprehensible symbols. Aurora systems might not withstand this frequency. She forced her eyes open and scanned the crew. Zoe was gripping the control panel with clenched teeth. Sam was tensed, trying to endure the pain. Liam grimaced, muttering a curse under his breath. Max had his eyes shut, whispering something under his breath, perhaps trying to make sense of the sound. Emma's vision blurred as the sound overwhelmed her senses. Her body refused to respond, then a heavy thud. Forcing her eyes open, she saw Liam and Sam collapse at the same time. Their bodies lay still, their eyes rolled back. With the last of her strength, she barely lifted her head. Though her vision was fading, she saw two figures emerging from the alien ship. Two beings. They weren't human. Their elongated forms shimmered with a soft, undulating glow. Their faces were indistinct, as if hidden behind a veil of mist. As they approached, Emma's eyes grew heavy. A final thought echoed in her mind. Is this first contact? Then darkness?